What if I told you that the reason you're procrastinating is because you're trying too hard to stop it? I spent years downloading apps, researching, making to do lists. Nothing worked. And then I tried something that felt completely wrong. I did nothing, and everything changed. In the next few minutes, I'll tell you about the do nothing method to stop procrastination. And it will help you get rid of procrastination once and for all. So, let's talk about the cycle of procrastination. You procrastinate on a task that you really should be doing, and then that results into a feeling of guilt. Now, that guilt sticks with you, and to get away from that feeling of guilt, you indulge in something that is instant gratification. You try to avoid the task even more. So the guilt results in avoidance of the task. That avoidance over time makes you feel even more guilt, which leads to even more avoidance, which leads to even more guilt, and the cycle continues, right? And all the self improvement advice feels too overwhelming. All that productivity advice will tell you to force yourself to do it. And the more you force yourself to do it, the worse it gets. And there's a psychological reason for it. And once you understand the psychological reason for it, you wouldn't be able to unsee it. So, here are the psychological reasons behind you procrastinating. The first is task aversion. So, you don't avoid a task because you're lazy. You avoid a task because it triggers some negative emotion inside of you. It can be boredom, it can be self doubt, it can be anxiety. So, to avoid that negative emotion, you're avoiding the task. The second is resistance loop. So, whenever you get an urge, the more you try to avoid it, the more you try to ignore the urge, the powerful that urge becomes. Try not to think of a red Ferrari. You cannot stop the urge to think of it. And the more you try to ignore the urge, the powerful it becomes, right? So that is the resistance loop. The third thing is nervous system regulation. So anytime you're in a stressed state, if you're forcing yourself to do something in that state, it backfires. You need to calm and regulate your nervous system first. The last thing is the willpower you have is very limited. So, the moment you force yourself to do something that is delayed gratification, the next choice you tend to compensate for it. So, you jump or spontaneously choose the instant gratification task on the next choice. So, your willpower is limited, it is scientifically proven. So, all these things are the psychological reasons you tend to procrastinate. Now that you understand this, let's talk about the do nothing method. It's just 4 steps, very easy. The first step is 2 minutes, just sit with the task. Don't scroll your phone, don't look at anything else. Just sit with the task. Observe what's happening, observe what you're feeling, don't do anything else. What this does is it diffuses the fear response of the body. Now, step 2 is label the emotions you feel at the moment. You can use an emotional wheel. There are 6 core emotions: anger, fear, joy, surprise, love, sadness. Who can forget that? So, you can use the emotional wheel to figure out exactly what emotion you're feeling. And what this does is it reduces the power of emotion. It's called affect labeling. So when you observe the emotion and label it, it reduces the power of that emotion. Now, the third thing is you just do a micro task. Whatever you have to do, think of the minimum possible version of action you can take and do that. If you have to write an essay, just write a few sentences. If you have to go to the gym, just wear your shoes. If you have to study for an exam, just read a few paragraphs, nothing else. Do the micro version of the task you need to do. That's it. The fourth step is the most crucial. Give yourself 5 minutes of rest. That's it. You don't scroll your phone, you don't do anything else. You just sit silently, observe a blank wall, observe the ceiling if you want to. Just stay with yourself and do nothing. This 5 minutes of guilt free nothingness as a reward trains your brain that the reward is earned and not stolen, as in the case with procrastination. So every micro task, you get 5 minutes of guilt free reward if you need it. So that 4 steps is the do nothing method. So I'll be honest, I started trying this method a week back. Um, I have exams coming up. I needed to study for those exams. And me personally, I have the superpower that even the things I don't want to do, I can push myself to do it, provided they are urgent. So, what happens is there's work, then there's chores, then there's family chores, then there's making videos, editing it, and then you have to come back and focus on studying. And then this is important stuff, right? This is not urgent stuff. So the important stuff a lot of times gets put behind in the priority list. So I realized that I really needed to figure something out. So I started doing this do nothing method a week back, and I've been able to sit down every single day and study. It takes me just 15 minutes ish to get into the flow. The thing is, when you start doing the task, you feel a sense of dopamine. Starting gives the dopamine, right? So when you start the task, it gets very easy to continue doing it. It's only the initial phase that you feel the resistance in. And also, I have this. I keep my phone aside. I keep all the distractions away, and I have this stopwatch that I use for 5 minutes and 2 minutes in the beginning. So it gets really simple the more you try it, and I can tell you by my experience that in the in the first 2-3 days I got used to doing it. I was planning to do the video by the end of this week. 7 days, what do nothing method does for you. So really worked. I was able to study every single day for 2.5 hours every night. Here are the things that I think are going to be common mistakes. Do not use do nothing as a way to not do anything throughout the day. Don't check your phone in the breaks you take. Don't make the micro tasks too big. Keep them very brief, very short. And no matter what you do, never skip the emotion labeling step. Emotional labeling is key. So always figure out what emotion you are feeling, why you are feeling it during the emotional labeling step. So here is my unique twist to the topic. Now, what you need to do is you need to regulate your nervous system when you're trying to accomplish a task that you are procrastinating on. So, while you're doing the do nothing method, when you take a break, what you can do is count your breaths. See, when your breaths are more than 10, 15, 20 breaths a minute, you are in the fight or flight mode. You're in a stress state, right? You can try to slow down your breathing what I'll suggest is this long exhale method, long exhale breathing. Basically, you breathe in through the diaphragm, not the chest. You breathe in through the diaphragm. 4 to 5 seconds, you breathe in, and then you go for a longer exhale. The long exhale signals a safety to the brain. So breathe in for 4 to 5 seconds and then exhale for 8 to 10 seconds. And then continue doing this for 2 to 5 minutes. When you do this, you will feel that your nervous system is regulated and your breathing has automatically slowed down. So you can do this in the first 2 minutes if you want. You can do this in the 5-minute break you take in the do nothing method. Try to regulate your nervous system, and you can also do this without using the method throughout your day. Long exhale breathing helps you send a safety signal to the brain so that it can come out of that fight or flight mode. So I hope you like this video. If this video helped you, please let me know. Is there something you're procrastinating on? Comment it down below and share it with your friends. Subscribe if you like this content. I'll see you in the next one. Have a great day. Have a great life.